Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out. We're still plowing ahead on the 4 for 50. This happens to be a 2006 yard machine. I just started disassembling this, and I want to show you what Harvey, the homeowner, did. I hope a mower shop didn't do it, but we're going to check it out first. So the last video I did was this 2013. We got that rectified. Front wheel drive works. Went through this thing, sharpened the blade. This thing ran upon initial startup, first video, but we had cable issues. So we messed with that. I'm still in the process of researching cables. First one I did was this Boland's, the 2015 Boland's. This was low-hanging fruit. I adjusted the wheels and carb clean on that. I still have yet to tackle this double turd, this Crafty M350. I paid $20 for this. Scrapper said it ran but had a rough idle. I gave $20 for it just because it's a newer machine in good condition, rear wheel drive, hardly any wear on the tread. So I figured I could do something with it. I took a gamble at 20, but I think we can do something. So just started to tear down this 675 Quantum. It's made in Canada, Fabriqué au Canada. So my brother out in Phoenix thinks Canadian steel is good quality. He may be right. So we're going to look this thing over. So like I said, I started disassembling it. Very little gas in here, a few drops. Tank was nearly dry. I air blasted that out. Took the recoil off. That was the main issue with the recoil. The recoil was screwed up, and we'll discuss that. But first, let me give you a model number here. I kind of took a wire brush so I could get rid of the rust. We're looking at a engine number 126 Frank 02-0454 Echo 1 0609. Looks like 1156. So built the 9th month, 11th day of 2006. So when I took the recoil off, the main screw here was really tight and kind of wonky. It was kind of off track. I loosened it up. 2 pawls came out, no springs. There should be 2 springs in here, and the spring here has got a bend in it, so I could try to rewind this thing. Rope didn't look too bad. I could probably reuse that. I undid the knot and pulled it through. So let's continue on talking about recoil, then we'll go on to what Harvey, the homeowner, did to the unit. So if you did not want to mess with rebuilding this, I'll show you a rebuild kit if you want to try messing with this. You would take a grinder and grind off these pop rivets, this 4 that hold this assembly to the top of the recoil frame here. You can replace this whole thing. You would just use your own nut and bolts in place of the pop rivet, so you can go that route. So I'll show you what that looks like. I've got a couple different examples here of recoils that you can buy aftermarket. Here's the steel one. If you go with an expensive kit, they'll give you the 4 bolts, but this is a cheap China aftermarket. You're going to have to go to Ace Hardware Lowe's or Home Depot and get your own hardware, or look in your little coffee can and get hardware. So there's two little springs here in this Paul setup, and those were missing. That was one of the issues, and I think the spring jumped the track on the one we have. So that's one style replacement. If you've got a Kohler style, the 3-holer, 1, 2, 3, you see it doesn't say Kohler here. This is an aftermarket, but it replicates a Kohler recoil. You can buy those. And I mess around a lot with these newer Briggs plastic engines. You can buy these recoils with the spacer. These are 10 to 15 bucks. If I buy like 10 from a major seller, they knock them down to like 9 bucks each if you buy in quantity. So let me show you a little rebuild kit that you can get. They always do this when you buy kits from China. They always give you fuel filters for some reason, and a little bit of fuel line, but no fuel line today, just filters. It's a random thing. Nothing to do with carburation, yet they put a couple of filters in there. Kind of weird. Maybe it's like a Happy Meal. You get a little toy with the Happy Meal and it makes you happy. Maybe this makes Shade Tree mechanics happy. I think I'm so happy I'm going to bust into my Summit Citrus Twist. Summit is the Aldi house brand. They market their own soda, Summit. Caffeine free later in the day. I don't want to be up all night fixing small engines, so I'm going to go with caffeine free. Let me bust into this Citrus Twist. Oh yeah. Oh, I think I needed that. Lemon lime soda, naturally flavored. Oh, I like that. That's good. Batavia, Illinois. Okay, let's get serious. So you can buy these aftermarket kits. We got a jet leaving. Who is it today? Southwest. So you get the spring, you get a couple of the pawls, you get a clip, and there's two baby springs in there for the pawls. There's one of them. But you can get this little doodad kit. They wire up the mainspring with some baling wire. So that's the deal with this thing. You can get different spring kits depending on what recoil you're working on. So that's that. So let me bring you back down. We're done talking about recoils. These are less expensive, the kits, rather than buying the whole assembly here. Those are only a couple of bucks. Like I said, if you buy in bulk, these are $9 up, $9 and up. I think these were a couple bucks, under $3, I think, and I bought a couple of these kits. It's not uncommon for these things to blow apart. So let's look at Harvey's deal here. The air vane, this is something that I run into. Somebody had this apart. The air vane does not go through the thermostatic wafer V. It should sit right in the channel there, and as the muffler heats up, transfers heat to the thermostatic wafer, and it opens up the choke. So this isn't at full action here, nearly full, but it does not go inside the loop. It goes outside. The leading edge here would mark up. You would line it up in between the two hash marks there, the leading edge. Same thing in the front. There's two hash marks, little plastic divots here. You would line it up this way as well, and through the side that way. I've done a couple of videos on how to mess with that. So I don't see anything else out of the ordinary. We still got spring action there. It's not returning very well here, so I think there may be some gumminess in the carb on the wafer. We're not getting a good spring action. So I'll mess with this. I'm going to degrease the whole thing and then let it sit, let it air dry overnight. I greased up the safety brake cable that had some rust in it. I think I can salvage that. Intake tube looks like it's intact. So I think we'll be able to do okay with this. I kind of gandered at the oil. Oil looks new. Let me try to do this one-handed. Golden brown on the oil. If you want to know this, the MTD number is 11 Alpha dash 546 Bravo 029. MTD, Cleveland, Ohio. Made in Canada. So that's all I got for you. I'm going to keep moving ahead on this this 2006 unit. I'm going to try to rebuild the recoil so I don't have to grab my grinder, grind these off. I think it'll be quicker to try to rebuild it, and I'll see how it goes. If I was really lazy, I'd steal one off of another machine, but I want to keep this all original. I'll try to rebuild this. See how it goes. Okay. Thanks for coming out. So we got 2 running out of the 4 on this deal. We're batting 50%. So I think we're going to get them all running. It's just going to take me some time. This one shouldn't be too bad. The red Crafty, I got to make sure he gave me all the parts. I've had those apart before. I'll just plow through it. It shouldn't be difficult. I'm just enjoying this citrus twist. I think that's what I needed to finish out the day, a little cold beverage on a hot Florida afternoon. Anyway, appreciate you coming out, checking out this junk on 4 wheels. Please like and subscribe. Come back and see me. I'll do a final on this. I'll get it nearly complete. I'll go through the carburetor. Speaking of carbs, why don't we look at that? I'm just looking at my sockets here to see if I've got a 1/2 inch around I thought maybe we could do a little looky look just to see how this thing looks. Okay, I got a 13 in my hand, 13 millimeter, and that's gonna do the trick. Since the tank was dry, nearly dry, I'm wondering if there's any liquid in the bowl. Could be syrup, could be dry. But I think this thing sat for a while, and the nuts coming off a little difficult. That means there may be some syrup. Some syrup is holding us back. Trying to do it without the socket. Do it by hand, and it's still not cooperating. We're getting there, kids. I think the deal is we're going to find syrup. Just because I'm nearly out, but it's binding up. Well, this is a pain in the ass. Okay, I'm getting a little something on my fingers. Ah, boy, yeah, it's syrup. This thing's, oh, it smells. Smell-o-meter is terrible. Oh, boy. You got your varnish. This is plugged up. The hole in the jet's plugged up. The side hole is plugged up. So this thing sat for a few years. It's rough. It's going to be rough. Okay, just broke it free. A couple of drops of gas poured out, and it's not looking good. We got a little soup mixture. Kind of looks like water, but there is some gas in it, and it stinks. And you got that varnishy build up there, but we'll be able to get that out with some carb cleaner and a brush. So yeah, this will clean up. You know, water, stinky water with some debris. So I'll remove the carb. I just wanted to get an idea of what this thing was going to look like and entail. It's going to need a good cleaning. The float's moving. That's not stuck. It's moving up and down. Yeah, so even if the recoil worked for us on our initial startup, that plugged up jet would not get us anything or get us anywhere. It would have fired off with the shot of happy juice and stalled out. Okay, now we're done. Now we know what we're cooking with. We're going to be cooking with fire and petroleum products mixed with water. You guys have a good night. And as always, please tip your waitress and waitstaff. Really appreciate you coming out. Yeah, you guys have a good one. Thanks again. We'll do one on this and the rear wheel drive $20 machine scrapper disassemble. We'll look at that one, see what we got to do. I'm kind of curious to find out why it's got a miss, but we'll try hacking through that one. Maybe could be valve adjustment. He didn't mess with the valves. Valves could be tight or off tolerance. We'll check. Have a good day. Thanks.